Hello and welcome back to my channel. The title of this video is 5% of the Bible is attributed to Paul, and so are 95% of the arguments. Here's a question that stirs up a lot of debate. Why do so many Christians feel free to ignore the Torah, which is the foundational laws given in the first 5 books of the Bible? Like, if you ask around, Christians are going to always point towards Paul's letter as their reasoning. But here's the twist. Paul's writings make up only 5% of the entire Bible, yet they seem to fuel 95% of the arguments about whether Christians should keep the Torah or not. So let's dig into why. I believe that Paul is the go-to source for not keeping the Torah. When Christians explain why they don't keep the Sabbath, kosher laws, or other Torah commandments, they often never quote Moses or the Torah itself. Instead, they cite Paul, especially letters like Galatians or Romans. Paul is often read as saying that the Torah is no longer binding for followers of Jesus, especially Gentiles. For example, in Galatians he says, "If righteousness could be gained through the law, Christ died for nothing," which is Galatians 2:21. This interpretation leads many to believe that faith in Christ replaces the need to observe the Torah laws. But Paul only wrote 5% of the Bible. So out of the entire Bible, Paul's letters are a tiny fraction, yet his words are the main ammunition in debates about Torah observance. I mean, just think about it. The Torah itself is 5 whole books packed with commandments and stories, but when Christians debate whether these laws apply, it's Paul's handful of letters that usually dominate the conversation. So why do Paul's letters cover so much weight? Well, Paul directly addressed whether Gentile followers of Jesus needed to adopt Jewish laws. His answer was usually no, arguing that faith in Christ, not keeping the law, was the path to salvation. He even said he became as without law among the Gentiles, emphasizes that he himself was not under the Torah's commandments. This could be found in 1 Corinthians 9. This stance led to controversy in his own day, with some accusing him of teaching Jews to forsake Moses. Yet in Acts 21, it shows that Paul still lived a Torah observant lifestyle when among the Jews. Which this complicates the entire picture. When you speak about Paul, the Torah's voice gets drowned out. Despite the Torah's central place in the Bible, its own words are rarely the focus in Christian discussions about law and grace. Instead, Paul's writings, which are just a few pages, are cited again and again as the reason for setting Torah aside. This means that for most Christians, it's not the Torah itself, but Paul's interpretation of the law that shapes their practice and their theology. So in conclusion, hey, 5% of the text, but it's 95% of the arguments. Just think back. Paul's letters are a small slice of the 66-book Bible, but they are the primary reason most Christians don't keep the Torah. When the debate gets heated, it's Paul's words, not Moses, that gets quoted. So next time you hear someone say Christians don't need to keep Torah, ask them who said it. Chances are it's Paul, and that's why his 5% of the Bible is behind 95% of the arguments. I hope you like this. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.